Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Best College List series. I am Shereem Herndon-Brown, Strategic Admissions Advice, and we bring this to you to give you a profile of the best colleges across the country. And the word best is obviously subjective. I'm a big fan of Auburn University, which is our school for today. Did you know that Auburn is the alma mater of Tim Cook, who is the president CEO of Apple, took over after Steve Jobs, and Octavia Spencer, Oscar award-winning actress. I visited several years ago, and I was in awe of their facilities. An amazing place. As always, when you're on our page looking at the best colleges, we're always going to show you the admissions process. We're going to talk about academics. We're going to talk about the activities. We're going to talk about acceptance rates. We're going to talk about admissions requirements. So let's take you through that now. All right. So first and foremost, let's look at, they have a 50% admit rate. I can draw a circle, which I think is interesting. I think, if you're a strong student, it is a strong target school for many. I don't want to call it a safety. I think Auburn is growing in popularity. As if you're part of this March Madness, if you're watching this in March, you know that Auburn has an amazing basketball team that should be making a push towards the NCAA men's basketball championship. And you always want to consider that that increases applications, whether, a lot of students, a lot of high school students want to be part of something. And anytime a school has a great sports team, football, basketball, men's or women's, soccer, lacrosse, sometimes that drives their interest. So, looking at Auburn, 50% admit rate, February 1st deadline, somewhat selective. I do think it's a nice target safety school for some, but target for most. Auburn's a really nice college town. Actually, I've been when I visited, I was very impressed that it's kind of tucked away. It's right over between. It's in Alabama, but Georgia goes to Alabama, and the time difference is interesting. I think it's in Central Time, even though Georgia is in Eastern time. The men to women admit ratio. I always want to show you that. How many students applied? This is 2024. And then this is obviously their standardized test scores. The purple is where you want to be in the sweet spot for admission. And then admissions, what is not considered? Interesting. They don't require an essay. It is on the Common App, which we can see here. But I guess they have a optional personal essay. They do not consider geographical residence, even though it's a Alabama state school. Graduation and retention rates, I think that is very interesting. And then the financial aid that they offer. From an academic standpoint, we're going to look at their programs. Most the large university. Actually, let me take you back to that. How many students? 26,000 students. So they're going to have, as a university, they're going to have most of the major academic programs that students may be interested in, whether it's business, communication, all these different business degrees, which I think is interesting. Education, yay. Bachelor's in early childhood education, as well as elementary, ed, and health professions, history, legal professions, liberal arts, obviously. So again, I want you to consider Auburn as a school that if you're looking for a large university that has a lot of a variety of academic programs, that is definitely one you consider, particularly if you're looking at schools in the Southeast. This is the guide. If you're new to our page, this is the custom college plan software that we use that gives us a profile of different types of schools and different information. If you are an older person like me, you remember the big, thick FIS guide. Well, here it is in digital form, and I always want to make sure people see that. Strongest programs in mechanical engineering. Let me highlight those. Mechanical engineering, architecture, development, interior architecture, marketing. I have a good friend who lives in Atlanta who's a private equity person and definitely has speaks highly of their engineering programs. Overlap schools: Clemson, North Carolina State, Alabama. If you're familiar with the Iron Bowl, Alabama versus Auburn, which is the annual game. Uh, Auburn's in the SEC, Southeastern Conference, so that's where they compete. Florida, Georgia Tech. So again, I think if you're looking for one of those big, large, rah-rah schools, Auburn fits that in so many ways. So always want to show you that. Then I want to show you how you can, so if we're looking at academics, then I want to show you the school website where you can look at the activities, right? What are students doing outside of the classroom? So apply, give, AU access, search, newsletter, academic calendar. Let me see what we have here. Admissions. Yeah. Always go to the admissions page so you can learn more about what they're going to require, right? Academic programs, which we just looked at, you can always look at what the school is discussing and how they're highlighting different academic programs. You always want to go to this page from their admission standpoint. Then if I go to undergraduate admissions, that was that. I just showed you affordability. We want to talk about financial aid. What are some of the things that families who are applying to Auburn need to consider? Then I want to come back here. I want to look at beyond just academics and admissions. I want to look at public service, community partnerships, research. What kind of research are they doing? Like I said, obviously through Tim Cook, they have a lot of digital and technology initiatives. Administration, students, so, what is the student life like? What are the most popular applications that students are involved in? These are different things, right? Is a student government association, student policy ebook? What are some of the things that students can do on campus? These are a bunch of different initiatives that I think are extremely important. Study abroad, I think is critical. So you want to know where to look for this information. Every school is going to be a little bit different. Some schools call it the activity section, student life, but you want to look for the academics, which you obviously have shown you. You want to look at the activities, which we're looking at now, acceptance rates we looked at on the previous page, as well as admissions. I said admissions requirements and acceptance rates. Forgive me, I'm drinking my morning coffee. What else I want to show you? Yes, common data set information. So I pulled it up prematurely, but let's see. Yes, the common data set. If you're familiar with us, we always want to make sure that you're aware of how to look up certain data for information. The common data set is information that every school is required to submit about their enrollment, about their budget, their operational budget. So you want to be able to look at, okay, what are the students, what kind of students are they admitting as per the data that they're submitting, which I think is important. People who applied, men versus women, I think that's very interesting. Waitlisted, their policy placing students on wait lists. The common data set is the rich information that, again, for any school that you're considering, you want to be able to at least pull it and know instructional class size and faculty, how much that plays a role in the experience of students. Everyone has a different way to format the common data set information, but you do want to know where to look for it. So I'm a big fan of, remember, academics, activities, acceptance rates, admissions requirements, and that kind of goes in line with the common data set. So Auburn University is a thumbs up, and alumni, that's another A, as a thumbs up for me, particularly because I know it's very popular right now, given its, you know, world class reputation, but even more so because they're doing so well in sports, and being part of the SEC is a big thing. So, hope that you found this helpful. I want to make sure that you're able to always access our best college list information. Come back, share this information with anyone. We want to make sure that people are getting information about the great schools that we're profiling. I'm a big fan of all the schools that we've profiled. So please come back, check us out, learn more. You can always come back to strategicadmissionsadvice.com if you want to meet with me, with someone from my team, to learn more about how we can help you with the college admissions process. All right, strategicadmissionsadvice.com, the best college list series. Thank you. Bye.